what? You might feel better if we get more sages in here. Our investment pros, Matt McCall, Hillary Kramer, and Jim Frischling all join us again. And joining us, there's any doubt that the strong dollar is going to continue, Jim. But well, I got two Jims, so I'll go to Jim Frischling first. But what I'm concerned about, again, and I've said this a lot yesterday on the show, Jim, what's bugging Main Street? What's bugging Main Street? If there are more jobs,
sure,
a lot more jobs. If people are working, if all the signs suggest that the Fed has to raise rates because they're doing so well, what's bugging Main Street?
I think we had a lot of uncertainty, and one of them is Wall Street versus Main Street. Yes, a lot of jobs, but not a lot of wage growth, although I do think it's starting to creep in. You have talk about the economy doing so well that the Fed needs to raise rate, almost needs to do it to protect their reputation, but Main Street doesn't feel the economy is doing so well. Then you get some less than great economic signals, and you know what? We all of a sudden have a standstill. And the plunge of oil, or the continued downward pressure on oil, actually is costing more jobs. A lot of job creation done in that sector. That weighs very heavily.
Since oil started falling,
I don't think you can underestimate the importance of the consumer. How much of the American economy, actually the global economy, depends on the consumer. And if there's the American consumer.
Yeah.
And so to your point, if you think you can get it cheaper, it's not just individuals, also companies. They will delay investment. They will delay
I disagree with that. I disagree fundamentally.
Let Jim finish.
We can talk about it, but it's going to be hard to argue about water being wet. They will delay purchases. My business will delay if we think we can buy our equipment cheaper later. We will not have to make that investment now. And it does, to Jim's point, it starts to spiral down, and it actually causes it to, again, accelerate. And that's why I think we'll see the consumer cool on their purchasing if they feel they can get it cheaper.
I mean, here's the big thing right now is why. I mean, what is it? You know, we talked yesterday. We brought the politics into it because people are unhappy with Washington, and we've been saying now for 3 months, or at least the overarching narrative has been, don't worry, it's going to happen. Don't worry, cheap gas will see itself in other parts of the economy. Don't worry, all of these jobs, 300,000 jobs a month, will see itself into the economy. Don't worry. I'm starting to worry.
Well, we've created also so many of the jobs. I mean, almost the Uber effect. How many different people are almost temporary, permanent employees? Unless you have a unique skill, you really have very little, demand in terms of your wages. The fact is, I can get a lot of services done immediately. I put people in competition in a way. I'm talking now, the consumers have the ability to put their service providers in competition. It keeps wages lower, and I think that's having an impact.
I think it's harder to make money now, Charles.
It
is really.
What do you like, Jim?
CVS, they generate 100% of their revenues here domestically, combining pharmacy management with obviously drugstore retailing, and again, their cost basis, thanks to the rising dollar, is going to go down.
That doctor in the store thing is absolutely phenomenal. He wins in Manhattan, but I think
they're getting a little wind in their sail following Hewlett-Packard and Aruba. I think they're the next likely candidate, and when bigger companies realize they don't have the patent technology to keep in the Wi-Fi space, they could be a likely takeover.
Although I hated the fact that Aruba didn't command a bigger premium. I was in it and made 50 cents.
I just want to go back to everybody loving each other again. I think that's what's good about it.
He wants to go back.
I'm staying right here because I just got married. My company is growing. Things are good. Love family and friends, and I'm not falling for this gig. Although if I had to go back, all right, 90s, because great GDP growth, great low unemployment, household income, 10% increase. That was a pretty good decade.
He's a real Wall Street guy right here.
The deflation news today, so I think the market actually will rally after that on Wednesday.
Jim, what do you
think?
think?
I think that's true, and if it's true, you'll see the 10-year Treasury back down below 2%.
Yeah, really? Wow. What are you looking at?
Oil prices. I still think that we can see more downward
30s,
pressure.
three handle?
I think we're going to see a 3 handle. I told you I wanted 2 barrels for $70.